Yeah, this
We're
guy.
fine. We're all set. Thank you. Continue.
Okay. The, um, the individual in question, the suspect, is a former employee of the licensee who was at the establishment as a patron on the evening in question. She lured another patron out to the parking lot, where a masked man punched him while the female suspect went through his pockets and took various items belonging to the victim. And the two suspects then fled together on foot. What's even more disturbing is that's just the most recent incident. From August 13th, 2015 through October 18th of 2015, there have been 4 shooting incidents connected to the operation of this premises or the patrons of the premises. The most recent shooting incident occurred on October 18th, and it was just recently reported to the authority that this occurred. We found out on November 6th of 2015 when RPD finally sent us the papers. But that incident is highly detailed in the paper in front of you, but what I want to call specific attention to is the fact that one of the 2 suspects in the shooting was working the door at the licensed premises on the evening in question, collecting a cover charge. And that individual and a second individual who was a patron together engaged in witness tampering and the attempted murder of 2 other patrons while inside the establishment and in the parking lot. On October 3rd, a shooting occurred at the premises, both on the inside and the outside of the establishment. The individual who was a patron fired a weapon inside, causing a 9mm bullet to enter the ceiling of the premises. While the premises was filled with patrons, the party spilled into the street, where a larger fight ensued and more shots were fired, and police have obtained video evidence of the incident. Miraculously, in both of these incidents, nobody was shot. However, on August 17th, another shooting occurred in which a person was shot 4 times in the legs just outside of the premises, and that victim was headed into the premises as a patron when the shooting occurred. Also, on August 13th of 2015, a patron of the premises shot a gun off in the parking lot area of the premises during closing time. So there are other incidents listed in the reports before you that I'm not going to go through in detail, but of note is that if the police report 6 incidents to the authority within 60 days, the law provides that there's a legal presumption that the premises is a nuisance under Section 118, Subdivision 4. So as such, counsel's office believes the proof in this case is very strong against the licensee. In recent weeks, the shooting activity and other violent crimes associated with the patrons of this establishment has escalated and shows no signs of abatement. The record shows that the licensee employed an off-the-books unregistered person as a security guard, and that there is a second person who's attempting to act as both a manager and security for the premises, who's obviously been unable to secure order at the establishment. They have no security plan. They've apparently lost control of the situation. The patrons and even their own employees are engaging in very serious crimes. The premises is a drain on police resources and a nuisance to the area's inhabitants, and the ongoing activity presents an imminent and grave threat to the public safety, welfare, and health. Counsel's office recommends an immediate summary suspension of the license.
Counsel, is there also, having read the papers, is there also evidence of use of drugs within the establishment?
Yes, recently police went to the establishment and detected an odor of marijuana emanating from a kitchen area while they were conducting a premises check. They went into that location. They didn't locate anybody utilizing marijuana at that time, but they did find multiple glassine baggies that they didn't contain marijuana, but they're drug bags. In the garbage, littered across the floor in the kitchen area, the manager denied that anybody was using drugs, even though there was an odor of burnt marijuana in the air and evidence of use.
And you mentioned that they have utilizing unlicensed security guards. Is it fair to say that in their license application they don't even mention that they're going to use security guards at all?
They actually said they weren't going to have any security in their license application.
And you mentioned a number of shootings. Did any of these occur inside the establishment?
Yes. There was one that occurred on October 3rd, where a patron of the establishment fired a weapon inside the premises, shot up at the ceiling. that caused the premises to empty out. Patrons of the premises spilling out onto the street in a panicked nature, and a large fight ensued in the street outside where that same individual came out with the same silver handgun and fired more shots towards the crowd.
Okay,
I'm good.
okay.
So based on the record before us and the presentation that you've given, it's clear that the acts of violence are escalating over time, multiple violations from the start, materially misstating they wouldn't have any security, but then afterwards hiring unregistered security guards as well. In the midst of all this violence going on, you would think that at least they would focus on their security issues and come up with a security plan to address this, but see, they're not doing that, and it's just getting worse and worse, and people are getting shot, and there's gun violence there. So it's for me, I vote to summarily suspend.
Chairman?
Yeah, I agree with Commissioner Kim. It's obvious that this is, I can't even imagine the drain on police resources each one of these shootings is requiring for the licensed premises. It's obvious over the last 6 months that it's become a complete dangerous situation for the community, as well as a drain on the resources, and it's clearly a police focal point, not to mention that they're clear, the drug activity as well as the failure to even abide by the basic obligations of a licensee. So I vote to summarily suspend as well.
Okay. All right, I have no further business for today.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Council.
Thank you.